Chinese EV problems with safety are so huge that they can't be censored anymore. The rise of the Chinese electric vehicle industry has indeed been swift, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, it's more like a storm cloud looming over the automotive world. Sure, there are plenty of shiny new models hitting the market, but with them come a plethora of concerns, and safety is right at the top of the list. EV fires. So let's start with EV fires. Chinese EVs seem to have a knack for bursting into flames at the slightest provocation. Whether it's a faulty battery or a wiring issue, these cars are turning highways into infernos faster than you can say recall. The issue of Chinese EVs catching fire is not just a minor hiccup. It's a full-blown crisis. Imagine stepping into your brand new electric car only to find yourself in the middle of a raging inferno. Moments later, it's the stuff of nightmares. Yet for many Chinese EV owners, it's becoming an all too common reality. These fires aren't just isolated incidents, they're spreading like wildfire. Well, quite literally. According to China's Emergency Management Department, a staggering 8 EVs go up in flames every single day, on average, in 2023. And that's not a statistic you can simply brush off. It's a 32% increase from the previous year, painting a grim picture of the state of electric vehicle safety in China. So what's causing all these blazes? Well, it turns out that the root of the problem lies in the very heart of these vehicles, their lithium-ion batteries. Manufacturers are struggling to contain the risks associated with these volatile power sources, and it's leading to disaster on the roads. Take, for example, the recent incident in Hong Kong, where a woman narrowly escaped death after her BYD EV burst into flames while plugged into a charging station. The culprit? A simple design flaw in the charging socket proves that even the smallest oversight can have catastrophic consequences. But it's not just faulty equipment that's to blame. In some cases, EVs are spontaneously combusting for no apparent reason at all. There is an example of a pristine electric car parked innocently in an exhibition hall, suddenly erupting into flames without warning. It's like something out of a dystopian nightmare. Yet it happened in Zhengzhou Auto City, leaving car makers and consumers alike scrambling for answers. Now, the nightmare of Chinese EVs catching fire doesn't just begin on the roads, it starts right at the manufacturing plants. Shockingly, some of these fiery incidents are occurring before the EVs even roll off the assembly line. Take, for instance, the recent debacle at the SK battery plant, where an EV burst into flames during a routine test ride. It's a chilling reminder that these vehicles are ticking time bombs from the moment they're conceived. Collisions. Even when EVs make it onto the streets, they are far from safe. Collisions, no matter how minor, can trigger catastrophic fires, turning highways into death traps. Despite efforts by the Chinese government to mandate safety measures, including requirements for batteries to withstand collisions at moderate speeds without combusting for at least half an hour, not all manufacturers are up to the task. Just look at the toll station tragedy from last summer, where a Volkswagen electric vehicle crashed into a barrier and erupted into flames immediately afterward. There was no grace period, no time for escape. All 4 passengers paid the ultimate price for a technology that failed them when they needed it most. And here's the kicker. This wasn't some fly-by-night Chinese startup, it was a product of a Western legacy car maker. Just goes to show that when it comes to safety, no manufacturer is immune to the pitfalls of poor quality control and rushed technology. Meanwhile, in the aftermath of these horrifying incidents, the once promising sales numbers of Volkswagen models in China are plummeting faster than a lead balloon. Before the toll station tragedy, the automaker had grand visions of dominating the Chinese electrification market, having already unleashed 3 all-electric models, the ID3, ID4, and ID6, onto the eager consumer landscape. But all those plans are going up in smoke as crash safety becomes the elephant in the room. Zero build quality. You see, crash safety isn't just about protecting lives. It's about protecting the bottom lines, too. As the Chinese EV industry sets its sights upon conquering Western markets, affordability becomes a key selling point. Take the Suda Sao 1, for example, a budget-friendly offering that made waves in Europe with its dirt-cheap price tag, thanks in part to hefty incentives. But when push came to shove, well, literally, it failed miserably. This so-called affordable EV turned out to be a death trap. on wheels. With no airbags, ESP, or ABS to speak of, it was a disaster waiting to happen. And when subjected to a crash test, the results were catastrophic. The A-pillar and door were obliterated, rendering rescue efforts futile. In real-world scenarios, the driver wouldn't stand a chance. But wait, there's even more. Not only is it a safety nightmare, but it's also a performance disaster, needing nearly 42 meters to stop from 100 kilometers an hour. It's a far cry from its peers, which managed the same feat in 30 to 35 meters. And let's not even talk about its evasive maneuver capabilities, or lack thereof. But here's the kicker. The SAO-1 isn't an anomaly. Many EVs, both Chinese and otherwise, are flunking crash tests left, right, and center. And it's not just Europe feeling the heat. South America is in the firing line as well. A prime example of the safety pitfalls plaguing the Chinese EV industry is the Jack E10X. Born from a collaboration between a Chinese company and Volkswagen, this model was put through the ringer in the NCAP tests for Latin America. And let's just say it didn't exactly shine. Frontal and side impacts yielded dismal results, but what's truly alarming is that even after these crashes, the system indicated that the battery was off, yet it continued to function. This persistent power supply post-collision raises major red flags, once again highlighting the looming threat of the fires following accidents. But wait, there's more. The tests uncovered a laundry list of other issues, including excessive tire wear and the glaring absence of essential safety features. With just 2 airbags and ESC relegated to optional status, it's clear that this EV falls far short of modern safety standards. Automatic emergency braking and lane keeping assist, forget about that, they're not even on the menu. Yet beyond the lack of fancy bells and whistles lies a far more fundamental problem: structural integrity. You see, safety isn't just about having a laundry list of high-tech gadgets, it's about the very bones of the vehicle. And when it comes to Chinese EVs, the question of structural rigidity looms large. Without a solid foundation to withstand collisions, all the airbags and ESC systems in the world won't be enough to keep drivers and passengers safe. It seems that when it comes to some Chinese EVs, safety takes a backseat to cost-cutting measures. Take Li Auto, for example, and its model called One. An unfortunate owner experienced a rear-end collision with a truck that resulted in far more serious consequences than anticipated. Despite it being a seemingly routine accident, the vehicle ended up with a fractured A-pillar, causing severe facial injuries to the front passenger and a mild concussion to the rear passenger. The fragility of the A-pillar and the failure of the airbags to deploy raise serious doubts about the safety standards of cars churned out by a company often considered a close competitor to BYD. Poor adaptability to weather conditions. The problems don't end there. Weather conditions pose a significant challenge for Chinese EVs, even with all the technological advancements touted in recent years. During the New Year holiday season in China, extreme rain, snow, and freezing temperatures caused chaos on the roads, particularly for electric vehicle drivers. Batteries struggled to perform in the cold, resulting in higher energy consumption and leaving many drivers stranded without charging points. While running out of battery might not seem like an immediate safety risk, it becomes a significant threat in harsh weather conditions, where passengers could find themselves miles away from help. In the race to offer competitive prices and capture market share, some Chinese EV manufacturers are cutting corners, compromising on essential quality features and leaving consumers vulnerable to accidents and weather-related mishaps. Until these issues are addressed, the dream of widespread adoption of electric vehicles may just remain that, a dream. So while these EVs may be environmentally friendly on paper, they're proving to be anything but on the road. It's a sobering reminder that when it comes to safety, cutting corners isn't just reckless, it's downright deadly. Sure, EVs may be the future of transportation, but at what cost? Until Chinese car makers and their Western counterparts can get their act together and prioritize safety over profit, consumers will continue to pay the price with their lives. So next time you're tempted to hop behind the wheel of a Chinese EV, remember, you're not just driving a car, you're playing Russian roulette with your safety. And in a world where every trip could be your last, is that really worth the risk? Safety is a massive topic that needs to be taken seriously when there are, well, literal tons of metal being shoved around on the roads daily that could just catch on fire if it feels like it. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it and subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this.